fucking thing. Come on. What's wrong with us? This is busted. What the fuck? Oh my god, it's so slow. Come on. What is wrong with this thing? I just want to know, what have I got? 1201. Okay, so 13th hasn't been uploaded yet. Du, du, du. Du, 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 du. Dun, 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 dun. Bro, I pressed enter, come on. Huh? Have I not downloaded this one? Why does it say... It says download ready. Maybe I downloaded it to the wrong place. Come on, you laggy piece of shit. This is so slow. Holy shit, it's just broken. This laptop is such a piece of shit, and I don't know why. I don't know why it is. It just doesn't work a bunch of the time. So many bugs, it's unbelievable. Guess I have to re-download it because it doesn't seem to be there. So this is, what, 13th? 01, 26. A1. I don't know why that's there. What even is that? Is that... Okay. Yeah, weird. It looked like I started the download but didn't actually download it. Like I clicked download but didn't actually download it. And just doing that glitch where it doesn't work and then you have to, yeah, that's that glitch. You have to alt tab. So much bullshit, bro. I'm tired of it. Ever since, like, I used to have a pretty good computer ages ago, like before I got sick back in, like, 2017. I kind of quit video games and stuff in 2018. So I was just using, like, a laptop. I wasn't doing any gaming or much. But, yeah, basically since, 2019, I've just had fucking issues with tech all the time. It's like it just doesn't like to work for me for some reason. Um. Yeah, so now I have to download that stream, and then I have to upload it. I had some fried fish, battered fish. It is so bad a couple days later, bro. It was nice the first, like, I ate it a couple hours after I got it the day, and then it's been like 2 days sitting in the fridge. Tastes like shit. It's got that fishy taste. I don't want it anymore. I literally rather not eat. I hate the taste of like fishy flavor. It's disgusting. Snipers. A couple seasons ago there were no snipers. I'm gonna get jumped. Because I'm fucking laggy. He's got a follower bot, is he? Is that why there are 2 sets of footsteps? Yeah. I hate follower bots, bro. Why are they still in the game? It's been like 4 seasons since I've started playing again. They're still in. God, I'm so fucking laggy. Oh my god, bro. Unplayable shit. Unplayable, bro. Unplayable. I'm getting like snapshots because it's freezing so often. Jesus Christ. What's the problem? It doesn't tell me, that's annoying. It doesn't tell me and I don't know how to figure it out. What's using up all my RAM here? You know what's really fucking annoying is like, Instagram keeps notifying me. It's got this one, right? Which is a notification. But the notification's not for like an actual notification or anything I want. It's for a muted chat. I got invited to this shitty chat where they just shit talk people all the time. And I muted it. But Instagram on desktop keeps notifying me when there's a new message. Which is like constantly, because they constantly use it. I don't know why they haven't kicked me. I don't understand why I'm even in it, to be honest. This fucking idiot was like, oh, follow me, and then he adds me to the chat, and then they're just shit-talking the whole time. And being like, disgustingly awful the whole time. Fucking crazy. And so I mute it, but on desktop, it keeps notifying you if there's a new message. It just sits there with the 1 on it. Which, it's not a notification that I actually want. I don't understand why it does that. Billions of dollars company. And they can't even fix minor issues like this. It's absurd. And it's not just the 1 there. It's like you click on Instagram and there's a 1 by the messages section. It's like I've muted the chat. I've muted it ages ago, like weeks ago. He's still notifying me. What for? It's so annoying. Yeah, I got invited to this Discord chat, which is like fucking annoying. Like, so I keep doing calls and it's like a phone. It notifies you like a phone call, so I just left. Cause it was annoying. I don't know. I don't like getting calls all the time when I'm using my phone or regardless. I've got these Bluetooth headphones. Apparently they've got a mic, but they're like wireless earbuds. Apparently they have a mic, but I've never used it before on a call. I just turn it off and go to speaker. disconnect the Bluetooth, which is kind of an annoying thing to have to do. I don't know if it actually works or not, because I only use one of them. I've never used the microphone with the Bluetooth before. Fortunately, I don't get calls that often though, so that's nice. I honestly don't understand why calling is like one of the main contact mediums. Because, it's quite inconvenient. As opposed to just sending a message, which is very convenient. You can do it at any time, you can edit it before you... Why is this guy chasing me? He just ran past someone else. Is this a Stranger Things character? I have no idea, I haven't watched it. Maybe he killed the other guy. I had bad stuff. Holy shit. This chair's so stupid. It's got this... You pull the thing out and then it goes back. Sometimes if you bump it, and then you lean back, it's like you're gonna fall off, because you don't realize it's pulled out. Cheap ass chair. I remember when I first got this chair, it hurt my back so much. Got it off fucking Mighty Ape, which is probably just shipping it straight from some cheap ass factory in China. You know, the low quality stuff. Is this done? Oh, 7 minutes ago. Okay. It was 13th. I haven't streamed in a day. This is just so fucking annoying. Like, I look, the notification, you think, oh, I'll get a notification. Oh, wait, no I don't. It's a chat I've muted. That's so fucking annoying. Now what am I doing? Open up streams. Now, go back. I'm sure I've downloaded it. No, I haven't. Okay, weird. Open up streams. It's gonna take ages. What's this? It'll be another recommended post, it always is. It's another recommended post. Are we ready? No. This map is so boring, bro. What happened to the old one? Why do we have a completely different map now? It's just not very good, and there are no cars anywhere, so it's like, you have to walk most of it. Cartman Land is okay, but the rest of these locations are just really basic. I don't understand why they're so basic. That's just the default port city that they've had in like every fucking map. Minus a couple. It's not interesting. Is this even the same map as the one from before, or is it a different one? Potato graphics. God. The health bar's in the middle now for some reason. God, this is shit. Holy shit. I can't even say the trays. Why did those guys want me to play GTA so much the other day? Like, what am I gonna do in GTA? Like, it doesn't even have a point. You just drive around. I can't be bothered. aside from like socializing, but I mean, it's kind of just like fight people and drive and chat, and that's it. Needs a battle royale mode. Oh god, bro. Spot's got a gun. Oh, how did he do that? His car's so weak. Why is this semi-auto? Or is it full auto? Give me a single shot. Actually accurate, not some stupid ass shit like that. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. I played an awful round of Rainbow Six Siege. I used to find that game fun. These days it's just boring to me. Everything's boring to me these days. Not everything, just a lot of things. I don't find them fun anymore. Enforcer is so bad, bro. Who uses this shit? That's awful. It's single shot and it's not even that accurate. It doesn't even have an accuracy. What the fuck? Where's accuracy? Did they remove it? What the fuck? I'm sure there was an accuracy thing here just a couple days ago. Like spread. What happened to that? Okay, maybe not. No, I think I was thinking about Fire Road. That thing's trash. Oops. Went to a family barbecue last night. You kind of just, like, get asked the same questions over and over again by a bunch of different people and then just sit there for the rest of it. That's my brother and I. I don't know if it really made sense for us to be there, to be honest. Like, it was literally like, aside from eating food, it was kind of just 3.5 hours of sitting there and listening to other people talk about stuff. And they weren't even talking to us most of the time. I don't really know what the point of it was, to be honest. For, you know, like, it kind of just seemed like a thing for my parents and the other relatives. Yeah. I hate to say it, but it's kind of like every fucking event that we go to this, you know, every time we've been to at least this part of the family's events, it's been like that. They just don't really have much for, I guess, the rest to do. It's kind of just a thing for, and it's not even like, you could say, like, oh, the adults. I'm an adult. We're adults. And so I guess they ask us more adult questions, but like, you know, kind of, what am I saying? Like, we literally just sat there for like 3.5 hours, you know? And then like 1.5 hour getting ready. I was waiting for like 1.5 hours because my brother arrived home pretty late and they didn't know if he was going or not. I don't know if it's like a white slash Pacific Island thing, because that's like the people, but like there's this cultural thing of like people talking over each other. Like everyone's just having a conversation with someone else, and they're all kind of just yelling over each other. I fucking hate that. I fucking hate it. It's awful. It's like, why don't people just sit farther away from each other and chat at like a normal speaking volume instead of everyone screaming over each other? You know? And the young kids were fucking misbehaving and shit. Well, that's like controversial to criticize, I guess. Oh, you're not supposed to tell other people how to raise their kids. Well, okay, I won't, but they were being really fucking loud, and I don't like loud noises, and they were being really fucking loud. One of the kids literally decided, oh, I'm gonna slam this door over and over again as like some fun activity. Jesus Christ, it's different. When I was a kid, you did that shit, you got screamed at, maybe you get your ass kind of smacked, okay? That's what happened when I was a kid, but nothing happened to these guys, you know. And look, I don't know if I'm for or against it, but like they're on the fucking phones the whole time. Like, I don't know, my parents and shit, they have like this awkward double standard of like whenever it's family, they'll never say anything. Because they want to like keep, even though there's like a lot of contradictions, there are so many contradictions between the way they act themselves and the standard they claim to have, and then like, oh, but family doesn't do it that way. So they don't say, oh well they should, oh, you should do this, oh, actually I think this. They don't really do that. When it comes to family, there's a double standard where they decide it's acceptable, it's possible, because this is a family event or whatever. I think that's pretty bullshit. It's like, if you have a standard, you gotta keep that standard. Otherwise, you look like a hypocrite. And, oh, actually, yeah, my parents are hypocrites. Okay? They have, hey, they always had all these standards for us growing up, but then, they would never say that shit to another person, you know? They would never say that shit. They would think it and possibly talk it behind their backs. Why would I say something? Okay, nobody fucking likes me anyway. And obviously you're at someone else's place. Why would you? Okay, but I don't think they like me that much anyway, to be honest. Like, I would say there are just too many contradictions. Like, that's what it is. It's contradictions. Too many contradictions. I can't say really I've ever been that close to that side of the family, and it's just how it is. Too many contradictions, I guess. And they would say, oh, you're not very social, you're not very conversational. Yeah, I know that. Like, if I say anything, it's getting back to my parents, that's one thing, and they decide whether I get to live at their house or not, right? Uh, and why would I be frank and honest? Why would I be honest when I know that they have, like, they're pretty strict on a lot of stuff? And they're not going to take to it well. I'm an atheist, they're all religious. That's a contradiction. Okay? That's coming up against a wall. I'm not negotiating on that shit. I think religion is bad, especially the ones that are cult-like and that cut people off and marginalize them when they try to leave. That's the kind of religion they're a part of. It's arguably worse than, almost worse than my, like, possibly worse than my mother's one. And you get all the conservatism, all the reactionism, all the anti-progressiveness that comes with it, right? And there's the cultural factor of, like, the culture's like that as well, right? The the dominant culture, I'm not saying it's inherently bad. I just think um the aspects of it I disagree with are like I can't negotiate on that. I'm not going to negotiate on that shit, right? The uh the dominant culture, Pacific Islander culture, it's not progressive. It's not. It never has been. And people try to say like, oh well, yeah, maybe they were a bit more progressive than white people at some point in time in some aspect. But the reality is, modern Pacific culture is not progressive at all. It's not. Okay. Uh, and people will say, oh, it's more collectivist. It is slightly, but it's collectivist in the sense of like it's very hierarchical, you know? And collectivist in the sense that, like, you know, the younger people do stuff for the older people, and you're supposed to follow them, and their will is law, blah, blah, blah. I fucking hate that. I think the white individualism is actually better in that regard, because at least you get to choose for yourself instead of just having it forced on you, you know what I mean? And I'm not like all pro freedom everything necessarily. I think a degree of it is definitely good for people. But anyway, they're all like anti-LGBTQ. Uh, you know, they're not they don't like atheists. I keep getting asked like, oh, what do you do for work? I'm not working because I've been sick for 6 years. Have my parents not explained that to people? I don't understand. It's really weird. They keep asking me. I don't understand because my parents are in contact with them relatively often. They go over sometimes. But, they don't seem to really know anything about me or my situation, which is weird. You know? Oh shit, there are only 3 people left. I don't really expect them to understand anyway. Because most people don't. It's not subtle either. Like, it's literally like, this is with all of them. Oh, so you're not working and you're not at university. I guess I got no reason to talk to you then. And then the questions stop. What? That's literally it. And they're like, the only other question I get are like, oh, you play video games. I'm like, yeah, I play video games. You know? That's very, like, thinly veiled. Oh, you're a loser, right? Ah, you're one of those kind of guys. It's very thinly veiled, bro. Because you can tell because the line of questioning stops immediately after you tell them you're not at work, you're not at university, you're not really doing anything, quote unquote, which is, you know, that's anything that's notable to these people. Oh my god, he's got a follower bot. He's got a fucking follower bot, bro. He's in the top 2, and he's got a follower bot. Oh my god, so close. Piece of shit gone. And lag, oh well. And he's doing the fucking gorillas dance. Get that kind of shit out of here. Look at his loot, bro. He had all golds. Oh, come on. He had the gold OP gun that I don't like using. Because it's stupid and I don't want to use it. Stupid ass bullshit weapon that people keep using because it's an easy kill. Was he even low? Probably not. They literally fucking hell. Accidentally pressed a bunch of buttons. They literally stop talking to you after you tell them that you're not working and you're not at university. It, like, pisses them off or something. This is what people are like. This is how capitalism is. People, they're bought. The average person who's not really thinking about things that deeply, kind of stupid, kind of, not that smart when it comes to looking at the bigger picture, thinks, oh, well, if you're not at work or university, you're not doing something that I think is like, that is seen as like capitalistically valuable, then, yeah, you're like a loser and you're not worth talking to. And so they ask you these questions and then they stop talking to you. Bro, but even my brother, the only time they fucking asked him shit was basically to do with, like, work. And nothing else. It's fucking crazy. You start questioning, like, bro, why am I, why am I here? Why am I actually here when, like, no one actually fucking gives a shit? Especially me, because, like, I got nothing to, they don't talk to you about anything. They didn't even talk to us, bro. I know I'm a bad conversationalist, but if you're the older person and I'm, like, relatively young, aren't you supposed to hold the conversation? Talk to me about something interesting, you know? It's all small talk as well, which I don't even really like. It's all, just, mindless chatter. Never any deep issues. They don't even talk about the news, bro. Oh, shit. They don't even talk about, like, current affairs or anything. This is this New Zealand, Australia anti-intellectualism Philistine culture. They don't talk about, like, things that actually matter. It's, like, stupid. And then they reminisce for, like, 2 hours. 2 hours reminiscing about when they were younger. And just stupid fucking small talk. You know? Irrelevant kind of information, really. Leaking everyone's personal stuff. Which people in this part of the world seem to love to do. They don't have this concept of, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't talk about people's personal issues and stuff to like, not randoms, but even just to, like, extended family. It's kind of like, do you have to do that? Do you have to? No. So what are you doing it for? Because it's something to talk about to them, apparently. Apparently, talking about, like, people's most private shit is entertaining, and that's the thing to do. This is why I don't like being around these kinds of people, because anything you tell them, you can guarantee this is the kind of white and adjacent culture. That, or at least it's like, I don't think that they're like this in, like, East Asian culture. Maybe they are, but it doesn't seem to be as bad. Uh, anything you tell them, they will talk to people you basically don't even know about these things. They will tell them. Random people end up learning all this personal shit about you. It's pretty fucked. It's basically gossiping, but they cover it up as, like, small talk. You know? Anyway, I don't really like family. I like, friends and, like, a person you're in a relationship with and then your kids. But I wouldn't, even if you have kids, if the kids don't like you, it's like, well, you don't have to be around me when you get older, right? I'm not going to force you to do that, and I'm not going to act like shit if you don't want to, right? You should have every right to choose for yourself. My parents and most of my extended family don't believe in that. On both sides, they don't believe this. They think family is like something you're obliged to, as if it's like a legal thing, where like you're required essentially by law to do things for them and stay in contact. And if you cut them off, it's like a massive offense. And it's like fuck off. I don't agree with that at all. You know, Marx and Engels talked about the abolition of the family. Why did they talk about that? Some people can't understand. Oh, but I thought family was a good thing. I like my family. Yeah, well, it's not about that. It's about the coercive nature it has on so many people. It's like this thing that you're forced into. You don't have a choice by birth, essentially, usually. And then through that, they manipulate you and essentially force you to do a bunch of things, be a certain way, etc., etc., right? Which shouldn't happen, okay? You see all these conservatives who are like, oh, the state shouldn't tell me what to do, big government's ruining my life with all its regulations, and then the same people are like extremely overbearing parents and family members. Always. It's so often. So often. That's what my mother's like. She's like, oh, I want freedom. Freedom of this, freedom of that, freedom of speech. And yet within her own household, she's extremely authoritarian. Extremely authoritarian, can't take any criticism, absolutely does not believe in freedom of speech or freedom of opinion or anything like that, anything even close to it. This is what these people are like. There are a lot of people like this, unfortunately. They claim one thing publicly, but when it comes to their own personal lives, they don't believe in it at all, right? They don't practice it. That's my point. It's not practiced by them in their family. And this is not even with kids, this is with adults. I'm an adult, my brother's an adult, she's still ultra strict. Like, not ultra strict, but she gets extremely upset over like the slightest disagreements all the time. And she expects you to be like a fucking slave in terms of how you act around her, right? Which is absolute bullshit, honestly. It's fucking backward. I can't wait to move out eventually. Once, I don't know. I'll try to make some money or go to university or something. Thing about university and being on a benefit is they actually cut your benefit if you go to university. Like, they actually decrease the amount of money they're giving you if you go. Which is like, why would you do that? I thought you wanted people to be getting educated and shit like that, you know? Third party. What? He's coming back to life. Ooh. Only issues with this is like the small mag. Ooh. I do believe in a degree of freedom for people. I think it's important as long as it doesn't like ruin the economic aspects of people's lives, which I think come first most of the time. You know, like the people aren't like exploited and shit, you know. But do I like living in a free country? I mean, I don't really have a choice. It's nice to be allowed to do basically whatever you want within the law. Um, but at least for me, being pretty okay with like convention, I'm not that unconventional. I just am kind of outspoken with political shit. Um, I think what people don't understand is like I think of like China. Would I rather live in China? Maybe. I might, to be honest, because it seems like a good place to live, like economically speaking. Like everything's cheap. The government helps you out if you're a citizen. You know, you don't really have freedom of speech because if you criticize the government in a bad way, like they're gonna come after you. But like, why would you need to do that first of all? Oh my god, he's got a follower bot. He's got a fucking follower bot who's shooting out of the car. That's bullshit. He should have been dead. That thing has terrible mag. If it wasn't for the follower bot, I would have shot him the first time and he would have died. Remove follower bots. They're awful. They shouldn't exist. Ruins the game. Well, I don't know why you would be complaining in China anyway. And the thing is, people are like, oh, well, you can't be gay. Oh, well, you can't be transgender. What else is there? Um, what are the other things? Yeah, it's like, we actually, there's nothing really stopping you from doing those things in China. It's just not, like, they don't legally recognize it. That's the only major issue is, like, it's not recognized. You can still be gay in China. Like, there's nothing stopping you from having a homosexual relationship, a gay relationship, you know? Neither is there anything stopping you from, like, being, like, born as male and then dressing as female or what. I don't think there's anything stopping you from doing that. It's just not legally recognized. And it's beside the point because as you can see in China and places like China that have been poor but are developing quickly, the rights come along with it. This is always the case. The rights come alongside the economic development, right? It's based in superstructure. You get the nice, pretty, nice to have social things when the economy is going well. And the economy in China is going well, and so they are becoming more liberal socially. People don't realize it. Yeah, they're not there yet. It's not like as developed as South Korea economically. It isn't like a service sector economy massively yet. They're apparently not a developing country anymore. They're apparently developed, but it's still quite a way away if you look at like GDP per capita, right? And so they're not doing these things because they are trying to essentially manipulate the society, but in order to be more favorable for economic growth. That's the main point for the Chinese Communist Party, is that the country's making money. Because if the country's making money and people's lives are improving generally, then they've got nothing to complain about, really. Um, and again, as I said, it's not like they send you to jail for being gay, or they send you off to a camp, or, you know, any of these things. Um, they send the people in Xinjiang to get re-educated, but that's because it's like a massive fucking security threat. They've had like terrorism coming out of that region. And the culture is fucking backward, as most Muslim cultures are, and needs correction in order to actually coexist with the Chinese population. They need to take on, contemporary values, Chinese values, and probably leave behind some of that more regressive Muslim shit that has led to terrorism in that region, right? They take that shit seriously, of course they do, and you can see the serious response and you can see how it works, right? I think it's a smart country, and I think China will do well in the future, and I hope that it does. And I hope that they have more influence in this part of the world. Because, look, the United States has its benefits socially as like this big empire. It has a couple benefits, but there are a lot of drawbacks. I honestly feel like a progressive China would be, like, way better than this kind of reactionary as it is now, United States. You know? I also think it's funny how like progressive the neoliberal, how socially progressive at least, not economically, but socially progressive the neoliberal politics and politicians are. But a lot of the people you see online in Australia and New Zealand are not progressives at all. They're like very reactionary, especially like people from like backward cultures or tend to always people from traditionalist survivalist cultures tend to be very reactionary. It's kind of absurd really because it's like you have them like say LGBTQ whatever has done like nothing to these people their entire lives. It's done absolutely nothing to them, and yet they feel this like deep hatred toward it for essentially no reason because they just don't like it, right? A lot of people are like this. I don't know why. I don't really know why. I've seen this part of the map before, right? On a different map. The fuck? Bro, why is my mouse getting stuck? You can't look all the way around. Why? Stupid as hell. Yeah, and they feel this deep hatred and they're like extremely socially conservative and think, the only people who are like people are like straight men. Straight, non-trans men. And not even just that, like it has to be a specific kind, you know? I find it, a lot of women buy into this shit. I find it kind of funny that they do because it's like most of the men who follow these conservative attitudes don't even really see women as people. They just see them as like things or as like at very least inferiors, you know? It's like like Christian women. Your entire religion is like treats women like shit and says they're inferior, and you follow that. Like, how does that work? Honestly, how does it work? It's because they conveniently ignore all the parts that say that shit and just pretend that it's like, oh, we'll just do this moral thing where we like try to be pure and shit. That's essentially what the religion is to these people. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit. I need a shotgun. I've been riding shotgun. Have I... Is this done yet? Honestly. I find it absurd that so many people who are raised within Christian religion, like, grow up to continue it. Especially, like, I don't understand why, and it's literally more women than men from the people I went to high school with. There are more of the women have remained Christian than the men have, which is kind of crazy. Like, Christianity is like anti-woman. Christianity literally says women are inferior to men. When a man is talking, a woman should be quiet and listen to him. the wife is subservient to the husband. And these women will be like, oh yeah, I'm a Christian, I love Christianity, and then not believe any of that shit, despite the fact that it's literally what the Bible tells you about that. Right? That's literally what the Bible says. The Bible says women are inferior to men. And you, as a woman, are calling yourself a Christian. What does that mean that you think? Do you think you're inferior? If you ask them, most of them will say no. But, like, how does that work? You're contradicting your own religious texts. The Bible also says you should stone gay people. And you got like LGBT Christian churches. The Bible tells you to stone gay people. It's fucking awful. It's an awful text. Some of the stories are kind of interesting, but like they're still just stories. Overall, it's fucking awful though. It's not good. Why would you believe that shit? I swear the vast majority of people who call themselves Christians have never read the Bible. Literally. Never read it, never had it taught to them, and hardly practiced. They might go to church and that's about it. These people are fucking stupid, bro. What's wrong with them? It's some cultural thing. It's literally, it has to be like a cultural thing for them. Instead of, like, them actually practicing the religion in an intellectual way. Basically, the only religious people I actually have any respect for are, like, intellectual ones. There was a guy who taught Christian studies. He was a teacher at school. I had him. It was like basically my last Christian studies teacher because I quit the last year after a couple of weeks because it was shit. Uh, he spoke fucking Hebrew, like he knew Hebrew and ancient Greek and stuff, and it's like, and he was like, his views were fucked. Okay, first of all, his views were pretty fucked, and he like tried to use science to justify all this stupid religious bullshit. But I can kind of respect that a little bit. Like, yeah, at least you put the work in. It's still bullshit, but at least at least you put the work into it, and you're kind of being slightly intellectual about it, rather than so anti-intellectual as most of these people. Like the the extremely common practice of Christians just picking out the parts of the Bible that they like and the practices that they like and interpreting it whatever way they want it to be, and then just deciding, oh yeah, that's the way it is, here's my religion. It's fucking stupid, honestly. It's fucking stupid. It's like these people who call themselves Catholics and then deny everything the Pope says because they don't agree with him politically. It's like, bro, the Pope is your voice of God on earth. And you're saying, oh yeah, I don't really agree with him on that. No, you're a Catholic and you agree with the Pope. You take what the Pope says as literally the word of God, or you're not a fucking Catholic. Like, what's wrong with you? Become an evangelical or something. You just do whatever you like and call yourself a Christian anyway, because that's what they all do, right? What's wrong with these people? It's like, oh yeah, I don't really agree with the Pope. Do you know? Have you studied your religion? Do you have like the faintest concept of how it works? The Pope is literally said to be God's voice on earth, and you're denying his teachings. You're denying his speech. What the fuck? I swear so many Catholics aren't actually like proper Christians or anything. They don't really believe it. It's just like a cultural thing that they do. I swear that that's the case. Because they'll be like, just basically fucking do their own thing, but then go to church every once in a while and like go to mass and like say, oh yeah, I'm a Catholic. Like, fucking bullshit. Religion is a fucking joke, bro. I wish more people were atheists. Seriously. I can hardly take people seriously if they're not, because it always ends up coming down to that at the end of the day, right? A lot of the time it ends up coming down to what does this person actually believe on like a fundamental level. And the ones that tend to believe the stupidest shit tend to act in the stupidest ways. It's not a coincidence. That's how it is. Seriously. I'm not saying that all religious people are bad people and that all atheists are like better than them. I don't believe that. I think people have their differences. But it does tend to be a reasonable, metric or point from which, you can kind of tell things about people. Whether you figure out their religion first and then see how they act after, or you see how they act and then you figure out the religion after. Yeah, it does explain some things. It usually explains a lot of things, actually, because it tends to be so fundamental to people's lives, right? Is it a coincidence that a lot of stupid people are religious? No, it's not. Because religion tells you don't have to think about anything, you can just believe a bunch of bullshit and then go with it. You don't have to be an intellectual. That's what they like about it. That's specifically what a lot of people like about religion, is it doesn't require you to think about the big things. You can just, practice your religion and forget about the important stuff in the world, you know? You say, oh, well, Palestine's God's will, so I don't have to do anything about it. That's how people are, bro. Oh, man. Fucking lag. It's God's will when something they want to happen happens, and it's the devil when something they don't like happens. That's how it works. That's how these stupid people operate. I can't believe they exist in Western countries today. Seriously. Seriously. Why is it a thing? You think the Christians are bad? It's not even the worst religion. Holy shit. It's a pretty bad one, but it's not even the worst. Seriously. You think the Christians are bad? The Muslims are even worse. Literally. They think gay people should be killed. And that's just gay. Like, they think that transgender people shouldn't exist. Shit like that. It's not even, you don't even have to go that far. They think atheists should be killed for being atheists. Right? There are, like, Muslim countries in Southeast Asia, Malaysia and Indonesia, don't legally recognize atheists because they don't believe that they should exist. You have to pick a religion, and then it goes on your ID, or it goes to your personal information. Like, you, in Indonesia and I think Malaysia as well, you literally have to pick a religion out of like three recognized religions, or like you just have to, because you're not even like a person if you don't do that. If you don't have a religion, you don't even exist. You're not even like a person. You can't live there or something. And you say, oh, well, at least they recognize a couple. Yeah, and they discriminate against the non-Muslims massively. Like, that's what people do there. It's fucking awful. I could never do Indonesia, Malaysia. It's just fucked. The only reasonable people in those places are the atheists and the Chinese, who tend to be atheists as well. Right? It's just fucked. It's no wonder a lot of them leave. Right? Yeah, move over here, and we need to manage the retarded people in our country better. Make it a safer place, where there are less regressive people acting poorly toward others everywhere. People need to take on the values of the country. Not all of them, but at least the important ones. Right? Hard to say that when a lot of the even native-born people, certain groups of the population don't do that. And they're proud, and that pisses me off. They're proud of their regressiveness, proud of their backwardness. I hate that shit, right? And they have a pride in being like, oh, I hate the LGBTQ, you know? That's pride to them. That's their identity, is this type of shit. Oh, I'm proud that I don't recognize the social norms of the country that I live in, you know? And they're not like autistic, you know, they don't have a disability and they're like, it's a struggle for them, but they try. It's like, my culture tells me I don't have to do these things because I don't want to. And so I just don't. It's like, what the fuck is that? Awful, bro. You got these enclaves where like bunch of people from one group move to a certain area. Nothing stops it from happening. Like, they don't integrate. They don't integrate because they all move to one area and then just do their own thing. How is that not a problem, bro? How is that not a problem? You got Pacifica doing it, you got Asians doing it, you've got Indians doing it, South Asians doing it. They come to New Zealand, they move to one specific area where a bunch of them already live, and then all move there and just do their own thing. They don't integrate. That's fucking awful. It pisses me off. Because it's like, they don't. And then they're like, oh, the culture's hostile toward me. Oh, well, yeah, because you haven't integrated at all. It's like, bro, I'm different from the average. The culture's hostile toward me, but I recognize that's my problem, right? Like, I have to do something about that because I can't expect everyone to change for me, right? Then when it comes to like these ethnic minorities, they're like, no, actually, everyone has to change to accommodate for us, and you know, and we're just gonna do our own thing in what is essentially someone else's country. Yeah, we're not the majority, so we're just gonna do our own thing, and then expect everyone else to you know, make way for us. Fuck that shit, bro. Fuck that shit. There should really be a law against that. Like, honestly. I can understand wanting to be around people like you, but when it's like people who've just moved here or people who are born here and basically never leave that area, it's a fucking problem, bro. It is a problem because. And you say like, oh, but what if they're poor and they can't afford to move? Yeah, well, that's not the reason why they moved there in the first place, so is it? Is it? No, it's not. How do I only have 400 bars? I used to have 1,000. What the fuck? I haven't bought anything. Do you lose your bars at the end of the match or something? I have no idea. Bro, why does he stop instead of keeping running? Yeah, enclaves are not a thing that you want to have in any country, really. It's not a good thing. Because then they start going, oh, this group of people that exists for some reason as like a minority organization within another country, we don't like how something's running, right? And tell me, is it usually stuff like, oh, we're poor and help us out? Sometimes. Uh, but unfortunately, a bunch of the stuff is like, we do things a different way and we think everyone else should do it that way as well. Or we want to do things a different way that everyone else doesn't like. And we're going to get upset now when other people don't like it when we do it. Right? And we're going to defend it by saying, oh, but that's just our culture. That's just our culture. We just do things a bit differently. And apparently when they call it just their culture, you're not allowed to criticize it for anything. Because like culture's apparently like religion and it's just untouchable, you know? You can't touch it. And if you do, that group hates you now, right? Yeah, enclaves shouldn't exist, bro. And it's not just a poverty thing. They could move to cheaper areas where there are different people in them, and they just don't want to do that. Really, I would say that's most of it. People come here from certain places overseas and then move to the same fucking area, work in communities populated only by their own group of people, or will only employ their own people if they start a company, right? And the New Zealander that's not in this group is just supposed to say, "Oh, that's fine. They can do that. There's nothing wrong with us," you know. And maybe it seems that way, and then they start acting in ways that a lot of people don't like, that might actually be harmful to people, or they start, making demands is one thing, and then there's this alienation where it's like you got a whole bunch of people who are essentially practicing their own minority culture separate from the culture that everyone else practices. Why? Because it's just something that they want to do. It is so weird. It's like it's literally like if I moved to Japan and then I never learned Japanese, basically, or I learned like pretty broken Japanese and never spoke with. This is the thing, like accents. What if I went to Japan and just spoke with an English accent Japanese? It would piss a lot of people off, right? Right? But apparently you can come to New Zealand and do that and there's no problem. And it's like if anyone takes an annoyance to it, it's like, oh, well, you're actually a bad guy for thinking that, you know? What if I went to Japan and just lived amongst like white people the entire time and barely interacted with Japanese people unless I had to? I think people would rightfully get kind of pissed off at me for doing that. I would think that's kind of a shitty thing to do, right? But when it comes to like, and I've seen a lot of stuff. It's usually reactionaries saying it because libs don't want to touch these things, these issues. When it comes to like white majority countries, like these New Zealand, Australia, United States, Canada, when it happens to these countries, you're just supposed to take it and say like, oh, well, yeah, that's just how it works, you know? It's just, you get foreigners and they don't integrate, and that's just how these countries are, you know? And they say, oh, that's how it's always been. Uh, well, most of the white people are integrated, aren't they? Most of the white New Zealanders are integrated into the majority culture. They've integrated over a couple generations. Uh, Alternatively, there are a bunch of people who've been here for multiple generations as well who haven't integrated at all, and they don't even seem to want to integrate. Integration doesn't mean assimilation, by the way. It doesn't mean you lose every aspect of your culture. It just means that you try to fit in a bit. You try to fit in. I don't really like fitting in sometimes, but I have to do it because otherwise people will get pissed off at me and they won't like me and shit. I know that. I know that. I don't even really like dominant majority New Zealand white culture. I have a lot of issues with it. But at least on the surface level, I try to fit in, you know? Because that's what people are supposed to do in order to function in a working society like this. It pisses me off though. A bunch of people don't seem to think that this is necessary and that you don't actually need to do that. And you can just have your own fucking culture in this country as a group and not follow everyone else's, and then like and then you get upset when people don't like you for it or something. It's so weird, you know? So weird. Why? What's weird about it? It's because it's like it's what do you call it? So there's integration, which is the best mode, where you keep some and then take on others aspects. There's assimilation, which is where you lose all your culture, which is probably not great sometimes. I think it's separation was the one where you kind of don't integrate. It's alienating. That's the worst part. It's alienating. It's like you meet people who've been here their entire lives, and it's like I can't relate to you at all whatsoever. You don't, and it's not just a superficial thing. It's like the values are completely different. Completely different. Completely different. They have a traditional survivalist culture. I have a rational, secular, rational, self-expressionist culture. It's literally the opposite. It's literally not the same at all. Okay? Uh, and it sounds fucking racist. I'm talking about culture. You can't call it racism because it's not. It's not just, oh, I hate people for the way they look. It's the kind of values and culture that they have that causes problems because of the big fucking differences between them, honestly. Okay? I like secular rational culture. I think it's cool. I like self-expressionist culture. I think it's better. Right? This European style culture, it's better. Okay, it is. In many regards, it's an improvement. It's not an improvement in every regard, I wouldn't say that. But it has a lot of advantages and tends to be more developed. It's something that comes from more developed countries, right? East Asian culture is less self-expressionist, so you don't have as much freedom to express yourself, but it's also very secular rational most of the time when it's East Asia, okay? Japan, South Korea, they're all pretty secular, right? They're not religious, tend to be more rational. Oh, shit. People need to stop ignoring these issues and actually recognize the fact it is a big deal when um, people have cultural values. It's the values, right? They have cultural values where you're not compatible. You can't work together. And you're going to find contradictions with each other constantly, right? Oh my god, I don't even have a wingsuit. Uh, what am I talking about, right? The Pacific Islander culture is much more backward than European culture. It is much more farther behind in terms of progressiveness, values that are like secular, religious, and not religious, secular, rational, and self-expressionist. They don't believe in self-expression to a large degree. They don't believe in that. They believe that you should just do what everyone else wants you to do, meaning the family or the culture, and that you're subservient to that. You have to follow that, or that's it. They'll kick you out, right? You get punished. And they're usually religious and have traditional beliefs, so they don't believe in LGBT. They don't agree. It's not just belief. It's like they hate that shit. They hate the people. They hate the thing. And it's disgusting because they honestly think that they're like superior for being like that. They honestly think that they're better. And the other people are misguided, you know? Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Fuck. Fucking Storm, bro. He was almost dead. That was so close. Don't dance. That was an awful one. Don't dance, you loser. How was he dancing on that? That was a terrible one. A lot of them don't believe in science either. You think that, like, the white New Zealand Australian anti-intellectualism is bad, and then you get to, like, other cultures and it's like, they don't even try. They don't, some of these people won't even go to the doctor. Because they're like, oh, I don't believe in medicine. It's, why, how are you living in a country like this saying, oh, I'm not going to go to the doctor because I don't believe in medicine? What? I don't think the World Values Chart even has any Pacific Island countries on its map. People need to get with it, seriously, it's absurd. And then you have, like, bruh, you have, like, they have their own schools and shit, so it's like, they're teaching them from a young age to be part of a different, like, an antagonistic, in many regards, culture, you know? Like, I went to religious schools, it's similar, okay? Except probably worse, because even the religious schools I went to were, like, relatively self-expressionist, you know? They kind of let you have different opinions sometimes, and, you know, traditional, but, well, they were shit. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, they were shit, but they were, like, European shit, not like, you know, even worse than that. They've literally got Muslim schools, bro. Why do we have Muslim schools in New Zealand? Christian schools are bad enough, and now we got Muslim ones. And people are like, oh yeah, that, well, they should have their own schools, because, you know, I guess if you're Muslim, you want to go to a Muslim school. What are we doing? What are we doing? What? What are we doing, bro? Muslim schools. What? I don't hate Muslims, but it's not a good religion, bro. It's not a good religion to be, like, growing people up in. Do you think that these people are going to be progressive? Or do you think they're going to hold some of the most reactionary views in the country? And they're teaching them as kids to do that. What do you think, honestly? What do people honestly think? These libs seem to think, oh, Muslims are actually, like, way more progressive than Christians, right? Aren't they? Uh, if you've never actually thought about it or researched it before, I think you could figure out with just a little bit of research. No, they're not. No, they're actually a lot worse than most Christians, somehow. Because that's how the religion is. Uh, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's literally, I know there are Muslim schools in the country because the Catholic school that my uncles went to, is now a Muslim school. And again, I've said, Christianity sucks, but Islam is generally worse. It is generally worse. It is more regressive than Christianity is. Why are we allowing these hateful ideas to be spread throughout the country? I don't believe in freedom of religion. I don't believe that religion gets this special place where religious people are allowed to do whatever the fuck they want, even when it's actively harming other people and other people's interests and etc. That is fucking bullshit. Okay? Call it what it is. Islam is a religion of like hating certain groups of people. They hate Jews. They hate gay people. They hate trans people. They think women are inferior to men in an even worse way than Christianity does, right? They believe a bunch of absurd bullshit, which is just completely false and relies on a rejection of science to believe. But apparently because a bunch of people believe in that shit, you're not allowed to criticize it. That's how it works. Because a bunch of people believe in Islam or Christianity, you're not allowed to criticize it. That's how it works. Right? Which is absurd. It's absolutely absurd. Like, you will get kicked out of fucking university and lose your job because you said, oh, Islam's kind of bad. Like, it is. Okay? It's kind of bad, guys. It's kind of not a good religion. It's kind of not a good set of belief. I don't know why you can't talk shit about a religious belief simply because it's religious, but you are allowed to talk shit about, like, say, being a communist or a capitalist. You should be allowed to talk shit about any of these things. Any of them. I don't care when people talk shit about my political beliefs or about the fact that I'm an atheist. You're allowed to debate that, right? Because it's not. It's. We live in a free country. Why are there consequences? Why does cancel culture basically like destroy people and ostracize them for saying these things? What the fuck? For pointing out what is blatantly obvious and true. Like their own fucking shit is saying their own, like, you can read the fucking texts and point to the different paragraphs in all of these religions, and you can look at the history and the the recent stuff that's come out about what these people have done, what people who are of these religions have done, right? And you can draw connections and say, oh, well, actually, maybe it's not that great. Maybe there's a reason why China's doing something about it, bro. They're not stupid. It's a smart country full of intelligent people. And they're like, no, I think they're just being regressive because they're kind of racist or something. Are they stupid? Are these people who say that stupid or what? What the fuck? You've literally got Muslims fucking cutting teachers' heads off for showing a picture of Muhammad in school. And that's like normal, and Muslims will clap and cheer them on and say, oh, well, the teacher shouldn't have done that. Yeah, actually, I think he deserved getting his head cut off for showing a picture in school, you know? He actually deserved to be brutally decapitated by a bunch of Muslim students. What the fuck? They want to turn the whole world into Saudi Arabia. That's what they want to do. That's the goal. That is the point. That's why they try to flood Western countries and influence their politics and their culture and etc. Because they want to turn the entire world into Saudi Arabia, like Christians want to turn the entire world into the regressive parts of the United States, right? Into the southern states. The evangelicals want to do that, right? Not all of them, but some of them, a lot of them, right? When did we become a society that says you can't criticize someone's beliefs? What the fuck is that? When did we decide that these things weren't up for debate and that you get cancelled if you do talk about them? I don't understand. Like, is Twitch gonna ban me for saying this shit? It probably would if I were popular, right? It probably would if I were popular. They would probably ban me. And YouTube would probably ban me because this is what the libs have become. The libs have become, you can't criticize anything about anyone because it's all hate speech. Religion shouldn't be a protected characteristic. It's not, it's a choice. You choose to be religious, you choose not to be. I choose not to be. You can criticize me for that. It's a choice I've made. You choose to be religious, no one forces you to. You're allowed to, you should be allowed to take criticism for being religious and then criticize the person who's criticized you. This is healthy debate, right? I don't know why they've decided, oh, actually, you're not allowed to do that anymore. Because it's apparently hate speech. Apparently, talking shit about someone's religion is the same as talking shit about someone's disability. Which, it's just not. It's not comparable, okay? Something that is forced on you is not the same as something that you choose for yourself. You can choose not to be religious. You can make that choice and people just decide not to. Okay, well, you can be criticized for that, right? Healthy debate. Part of a healthy society. Apparently we don't have a healthy society anymore. It's regressing into neo-feudalism where some people are a protected class. And that's what we're turning into. Some people are a protected class, other people aren't, right? This is how it is. And you'll notice, actually, atheism isn't protected. I don't think it is. I don't think they consider atheism a religion. So people are allowed to talk shit about you for being an atheist. I think that they should. But I also think it's kind of hypocrisy that, like, there doesn't seem to be any protection for atheist people. Many countries attack atheists and hate atheists. And it's not legal to be an atheist, and you might get executed in some of them. You know? They have to hide the fact that they don't agree with religion because any criticism of it can get you sometimes the death penalty, right? All these lib institutions and universities have fallen to it, which is fucking sad. Absolutely sad. You're gonna have, like, philosophy courses with a bunch of religious people in them, and then, oh, you can't say that, you can't say this, can't talk about that, can't talk about this. What a fucking joke, bro. What a fucking joke. What happened to freedom of speech? It's like it doesn't exist anymore. It got replaced by cancel culture. And you say, oh, well, like, oh, it's just a social media thing. No, it's not. Because companies do it, and universities do it. So if you're a student, you can get kicked out of your university for saying things that they don't like these days, because they're not government run anymore. Why the fuck does my character keep stopping running? Because they're not government run anymore. There's not like the businesses. They can kick you out for any reason these days. Any reason. They'll call it hate speech and then say, okay, so now we're gonna kick you out. That's how it works. For talking about like religion. Or even, you know, talking about like the protected things in a bad way. Or in a critical way, you know? Kicked out. Your company sees your social media post online, you're fired, right? I've got such bad weapons. It's better to be a Nate. You got nothing to lose and you can say whatever you like. I'm gonna be Asmon Gold or something. You know? Not like that can cut my benefit. I'm only on it for something that the state's diagnosed me with anyway. That and like sickness that I say I have and the doctor says I have, but the state doesn't really recognize it. Ooh. Like, I don't believe in freedom of religion. I believe in atheism. And atheism's better than religion. Simple as. Simple as that. Right? Oh, follow a bot. That's why he's so aggressive. That's why he's so eager to shoot, because he's got a follower bot. I want to get killed because it's got a trail. Can say exactly where I am. Follower bots need to not exist, bro. I've seen them in like 3 endgames now. There's the end. Oh my god, I'm so laggy. So laggy. So laggy. Oh well. 5th isn't that bad. You know, the funny thing about these religious organizations is that they only let in other religious people as well. It's like legal discrimination. They're like allowed to discriminate against people because of their religion. It's crazy. It's like anyone else isn't allowed to do that, but religious groups themselves are allowed to discriminate against people based on religion. It's so fucking bullshit. And they're allowed to enforce their religious beliefs against other people by like saying, oh, you can't do this, or you can't do that, or we're not going to do this for you. Because, like, they can refuse you service because of their religious belief. It's absurd. It's actually absurd. It's like these ethnic minorities that only hire themselves. They talk about white racism being bad, and you look at some of the ethnic minority communities and it's like, fuck, this is like actually was. Seriously. Bro, what is this shit? Like, bro, the dairy I go to used to be owned by, like, Japanese, like, a decade ago, over a decade ago. And then, later on, it's been bought by, like, South Asians, I think they're Indian. I have literally only once or twice seen one non-Indian, South Asian looking person walking there in, like, 6 years. Yeah, but you say, how's that work? Don't they have other people to employ? No, because how they do it is they don't employ other people. They only employ themselves. They only employ their own group and they don't employ anyone else. That's how it works. And apparently they're just allowed to do this. Like, if white people did this, it would be, like, against the law. Like, textbook discrimination. Are you only hiring whites? Well, that's because you don't want to hire any other people, and that's discrimination, right? You look at these fucking ethnic minority run businesses, and it's like they don't hire anyone else, and they're not family. In this case, I don't think they're family. They're like unrelated people whose only connection to each other seems to be shared ethnic ancestry, ethnic background. They're from the same background, which is kind of absurd. I get the impression if I asked for a job, they'd be like, oh no, oh no. And also another example, PB Tech. It's like all East Asians, mostly Chinese. Why? Who? It's because the owner is like Chinese, right? It's basically a Chinese company at this point. Yeah. They only hire Chinese people, bro. I hardly see any whites. It's so weird because white people make up like 60 something% of the population. Again, it's not only, but it's like such a large number. It's like absurd. It's like you could not do this without doing it on purpose, you know what I mean? I'm not talking about like these little restaurants that do like ethnic cuisine and that kind of thing. I'm talking about like a general business, like a fucking convenience store, an electronics shop, you know, a petrol station. You have to ask yourself, how does this happen? Like, how do we get the situation without discrimination where like by some luck, okay, by some strike of fate, whatever you stroke of fate, people who belong to like less than 10% of the population make up all the employees at this random business in this location, which does not is not even necessarily a big population of these people living in this area, right? I mean, PB Tech, the one that I go to, it is. What is the Asian population? Maybe like it's maybe 50%, but the store percentage is definitely over 50%, right? It's not even subtle. Like, come on, everyone knows it. PB Tech is an East Asian company. It's Chinese. PB Tech is Chinese, okay? Vast majority of their employees are Chinese. I like Chinese people, but it's weird. You have to be discriminating against non-Chinese in employing people. You have to be. There's no way they're not doing that. Got him. And you're just supposed to not talk about it. Like, you're not supposed to say anything. Like, you're just supposed to ignore it and pretend like, oh, no, it's a coincidence. It's not a coincidence, so is it? They don't hire other people. That's why they're all the same group. Because they wouldn't hire anyone else even if they did apply. Right? And it's not subtle either. You can see it. You can see it, bro. Seriously. It's like with this DEI shit. Like in the United States, they've got certain jobs just don't hire white men anymore. Like they refuse to hire white men. Like if you look at the percentage of graduates for certain degrees versus the number of, like, the population of employees at these certain companies. I think it was like film writers or something like that. It was like 25% or something there were like 26% of graduates were white men, but it was only like 11% of employees, right? Like greater than half. So they're like under hiring them by like 50% of like the number they should have. Greater than 50% under hiring, which is fucking crazy. That's like for everyone they do hire, there's one that they should hire, which they just refuse to do so for some reason unrelated to the actual person's qualifications or anything. Right? Because they want DEI. They want diversity and shit like that. And diversity means white men are not diverse, and so they don't hire them. Right? Just a bunch of bullshit. I'm gonna get a Subway sandwich. Stupid ass VPN's fucking it up again. It's always the VPN. It just constantly breaks. Fucking Proton VPN. Why is it so shit? I even have the premium version and it's still shit. What is this stupid fucking thing? This wave thing. Look at my 14 FPS, 1 FPS. It's worse than 1. 2 FPS. Holy shit. They've got this offer where you spend 30, you save 8. I'll just get what I usually got. Two sandwiches, 2 days. 1 sandwich today, 1 sandwich tomorrow. Way over 8 yesterday, and I only had 1 plate at the barbecue, and it was like way over. And I only ate jerky and a Powerade and a Celsius for the rest of the day. For the morning. Oh well. Who threw that grenade? I need to get in with some reasonable progressives, the kind that don't just fucking... Holy shit. Kind that don't just cancel you over little things. Damn, that guy had a crown? You should see me in a crown. It's mine now. What? Someone's run here for the crown, bro. That's bullshit. How did so many of those shots miss? He literally ran here for the crown, bro. Look, he just picked it up. Why does it tell people on the map where the crown is? That's fucking bullshit. I didn't know it was from New Zealand. They're not gonna sell to me now. This is what they do these days. Like, they can't... You don't break the law or anything. They just ostracize you. They say, oh, well, we're not gonna sell to you because we don't like you. This is how it works. They just brought back ostracism, like in the very first democracy style in Athens. They used to ostracize people. This is what they do in modern day democracy. They ostracize you. They cut you off. Companies are allowed to do this. Universities are allowed to do this. Why? Why are universities allowed to kick people out for them expressing themselves? It's fucking bullshit. You lose all that money and you chanted a degree because they don't like what you said. Soon they're going to be sending people to jail over hate speech, you know, what they call hate speech, which is essentially just you criticizing things. It's not even like you telling someone, like, some violent stuff or, like, you know, something like, oh, you should kill yourself. That's not even, like, what the hate speech is going to be. It's going to be like, I disagree with this. Here are my reasons why. Oh, you can't say that, though. Oh, you can't say that. You know? Why? Why can't you say it? Because people don't like it. Simple as that. People don't like it. That's the reason why. Becoming, run by the Horde. The Horde is taking over. What the fuck is that? Extremely obvious glider, what the fuck? Why would you pick that? It's so obvious. God, this is laggy. Like, what are these universities doing? One of them had, like, a Pacifica only area recently, and people were like, isn't this racism? Isn't it racist to have an area that only people of a certain ethnicity are allowed to be in? What the fuck? It was, like, part of the library, which is, like, a space that everyone uses, and it's, like, they section off an area for a certain ethnicity. What sense does that have? Huh? Why did they do that shit? It's stupid. And they got rid of it because news articles picked it up and were like, what the fuck are they doing? Why is this a thing? Why does the leadership of universities think this is a good thing to do? Seriously. They want to bring back segregation in favor of ethnic minorities and religious groups. That's just discrimination. Can't remember if it was Wellington or Auckland. It's because these stupid ass universities, they're running themselves like businesses these days. They've been corrupted, turned into businesses. It's like if you're too outspoken, you can't get a degree, and you lose your job. Like, what? So you want or they won't even hire you in the first place. You won't get a job, and you won't get a degree either. And it's like you're gonna be unemployed with no qualifications because the places that give out qualifications will kick you out, or they won't allow you in, and the places that give out jobs won't hire you. They have this all or nothing attitude as well, where if you don't agree with every little aspect or you criticize any of it, yeah, you're out. It's black and white. You get kicked out and they hate you. Unless you agree with every single aspect and you're basically a slave to whatever their ideology is at the time. Which changes frequently, by the way. It changes based on who wins elections and shit. I'm so tired. Tiny mag. I bet they don't even refund you either. I bet they just take your money and kick you out. Probably need to get a lawyer or something. Holy shit. Person got annihilated. Within the limits of what a mind can do. That's where I was at the start. Uh-oh. Stop fucking lagging. Oh my god, it's so laggy. What is wrong with this fucking thing? Look at this shit. It's just lagging out constantly. Holy shit, it's insane. Yeah, that doesn't tell me what is actually taking it up. And I'm dead. Almost. Everyone uses this fucking thing, honestly. That's bullshit. He was so far away. Can they remove that stupid fucking weapon? Yeah, like, what are the roles? I wanna know, like, what gets you kicked out? No cheating. Forcing Mari into everything. Why the fuck did they put the Mari name first? As if anyone knows what any of that shit means. It's absurd. Why did they do that? It's so fucking stupid. Why do they allow this shit to happen? It's like they hire a bunch of retards and then they decide, oh yeah, this is a good idea. Why? How is that a good idea? Fucking stupid. Bro, why are there so many policies? religious beliefs, which are a choice. You can choose not to be religious. It's literally a choice. What a fucking joke. Honestly, and I call it racism or something. It's not. Taking care of your wards, health and safety, well-being, which is the term well-being is like, oh, I got offended. You've harmed my well-being. Pretty bullshit. Behave in a manner that doesn't bring it into disrepute. I want you to be this, like, this ideal student, you know? Yeah, like, you're getting kicked out, bro. Opinions or affiliations, like, what? And I do consider political opinion. But I've already looked at those. It just seems fucked these days. Like, it just seems like it's so bad. Like, why would you even want to go? Why would you even want to go? Because someone's gonna fuck you over eventually, right? If you're not like a sheep, they're gonna fuck you over. They'll find a reason. It's already happened to me multiple times. You know? Already happened to me multiple times. How do I get 46? This is so boring. I want to do something else. It's been like 2 hours now. Oh, my food's arrived. What is wrong with this thing? Quite sloppy subways. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Someone was saying. Someone was saying 11,000 people have died. I thought that seems like quite a lot. It's not even nice. You know what I don't understand is like, why does making society better for one group of people or a couple groups of people who haven't had it so great, why does that always involve making it really shitty for everyone else? Like, why is that always the case? You know what I mean? Like, making society better for women, it's gotten a lot better, right? And then, but the men's situation has gotten really shit as like a direct result of that. And it's not just because men don't have privileges anymore, it's because there's like active discrimination these days. People are like actively discriminating against men, white men, in many areas, and it's like completely allowed. Right? How is this happening? How is this the case? So many not allowed subjects these days, you know? It's like universities are not even like intellectual anymore. Like they don't even care about like debate and intellectualism and shit. It's been taken over by identity politics, hasn't it? Identity politics everywhere. And it's like that's what comes first, not the intellectualism, not the education, it's the identity politics which they push. Tell me why. Why do they have fucking computer science students doing a Maori introduction for themselves? Why is that part of the course? Why are they teaching people how to do Maori introductions in a computer science course? What does that have to do with anything? And no, it's not their minor. It's just something that they tell them to do as part of the course. Why is this being injected into the fucking course that has nothing to do with it? It's insane. This is not like ethics. This is literally injecting a minority culture into the course for no other reason other than to do that. And if you don't do it, you get less credits. It has nothing to do with the degree at all whatsoever. It's bullshit. That's what one of my friends had to do. Fucking stupid, bro. He had to give a Maori Mickey in his computer science class. Computer science course at university. Why? Why didn't they have him design a website or something, you know, or make an application? What the fuck does introducing yourself in Maori have to do with the fucking course? Nothing, right? Has absolutely nothing to do with it. It's something that they force people into, give them extra points for, as like this virtue signaling to show, oh, we care about the Maori people. We care about the Treaty of Waitangi. Look, we make them all do introductions. Oh, look, we're not bad people. We make them all do introductions. Fuck off. And, like, you have to do that shit in front of the class, I think. I hate doing that shit. Why? In front of the class. Yeah, like, that's gonna have anything to do with your job in the future. It won't. It will not. Inserting Maori shit into everything, it's absurd. For no reason as well. It's, like, not necessary. You know? They talk about, like, oh, Maori ways of knowing, Maori science, and it's just a bunch of bullshit most of the time. It's just a bunch of non-scientific bullshit. Seriously. Why? Because they want to say, like, oh, they were better, actually. Oh, they actually knew more than the Europeans. They were actually really smart. I'm not saying that they weren't smart in certain ways, but they were surely pretty stupid in a lot of ways, honestly. And it's not like... it shouldn't be considered like some great offense to say that. They didn't know a massive amount of stuff that the Europeans did know. Okay? They just want to flip it and say, oh, actually, the Europeans were really... they were the stupid ones, and the Maori people knew everything, and oh, look, and they had no concept of land ownership. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Why do you think they fought so many wars over land and killed like a third of their population for it? Fucking stupid. Of course they had land ownership. I wrote that in one of my essays really stupidly, and the teacher was like, oh, this is so good, that's so true. When I was in high school. When I was into that, all that postmodernist bullshit, I was like, oh, and then the Maori people had no concept of land ownership. Yes, they did. But this is something that people believe, and this is something that teachers teach people. I think the teacher said it or something. I didn't do any research. It was a shitty essay that I was just smashing out because I just wanted to get it done. Fucking bullshit. Of course, they had a concept of land ownership. That's why they killed people who went and took things off their land. And killed people to take their land. They literally fought wars over it, and people saying, oh, they didn't actually have it though. Am I signed in? Yes. Man, I'm tired. I swear this is all bullshit and you don't actually need the degree to do it, and it's just like, they just train you for the job. Seriously, basically every fucking company has the same public policy or administration as every other one. They don't do anything differently, and it's not what really makes a major difference in whether the company's successful or not, right? They literally just copy each other, and the degree says I'm allowed to work here. That's how it works in these these areas, right? Like government and NGO, they all just copy each other. They don't actually think for themselves, right? Economics is so boring though, honestly. It's a waste of time. It's all maths. That's what I said. It's all maths. I hate maths. Maths is so boring. You get a calculator to do that shit. Seriously. Calculator and an application. Why do people need to do it themselves? Economics. All they care about is STEM these days. That's literally the case. All anyone cares about is STEM. Yeah, that seems like fucking bullshit. This is a waste of time. It's all a waste of time. See, I don't think I could even do it. I don't think I could even... I'm so tired all the time, I don't think I could even do it. I'm, like, really tired right now. Like, exhausted, basically. And I've only done, like, 3 hours of exercise, and I'm so tired. I'm, like, unbelievably tired. Mentally. I don't look it. Maybe I don't look it, but I can feel it. It feels awful. What was is this? Minecraft. A Minecraft movie. Gerbs. I'm not doing economics, bro. I'm not in Perth, bro. I'm too tired to stream. I think I'm gonna go for a walk. It's just hitting me hard right now. I don't know why. Why all they care about these days is STEM? It's not the only thing. Yeah, it's just the main thing, and everything else doesn't matter very much. Seriously. It's all STEM. It's everything else doesn't matter to employers unless you're not doing a STEM job, which won't pay anything. And you have no influence, you just be working at KFC or something. 75% of jobs in the fastest growing industries. I would think it was higher than that. Anyway, let's stream.